So I never thought I'd be saying this, but I am officially a My Little Pony fan, and this is my time-lapse drawing of Princess Celestia from My Little Pony. All right, guys, so I am super excited about this video. And before we get in, because I'm going to be having the time lapse kind of playing in the background while I talk about, why I even started watching My Little Pony and just some more information in the video. But so I accidentally recorded over the first 3 hours of me drawing Princess Celestia. So I was pretty upset about that, but I did manage to save a screenshot of kind of the beginning-ish stage. So that's all I have, unfortunately. And then you're going to see the rest where I picked off 3 hours later in the background. So I also want to let you guys know, in case you're wondering, I am using Autodesk SketchbookPro as the drawing program or app that I'm using. It used to be $25, but now I believe it's free. So that's awesome. So I'm going to put the link down in the description. And then I am using a touchscreen laptop, nothing fancy. It's just an Asus. And I'll put a link down as well in case you were interested or anything like that. But I do intend, and I really want to get a Mac, and particularly I want an iPad so that I can use an Apple Pencil. And I'm also using my finger in this entire drawing because I couldn't find my stylus and I just didn't want to wait. And eventually I actually ended up finding my stylus about halfway through this drawing, but I decided I wanted to just stick with using my finger because I wanted to challenge myself. So this entire drawing was done with my index finger. Yes. So that was challenging, but it was, it was fun. But next time I'm definitely using my stylus. So I'm also going to link that in the description below. All right. So also, I want to let you guys know that this episode is part of a series that I am going to be creating specifically for My Little Pony because I love it that much. And honestly, I really want to just create all of the characters, at least the main 6, how they call it, and the princesses and whatever suggestions you guys may have. So if you want me to draw a particular character or scene or whatever, leave it down below and I will try to do that. And if you want to make sure that you don't miss any of the upcoming episodes, then subscribe so that you can stay tuned to the series. Okay, now that we have that out of the way, let's get into the actual reason why I'm even drawing Princess Celestia from My Little Pony. All right, so first things first, let's answer this question. How did I even start watching My Little Pony? So just to clear the air, I usually don't watch TV. I don't have cable. And it's very rare that I sit down and watch like Netflix or anything like that. So I'm not just, I'm not a person that really just sits there and there's nothing wrong with anyone that does, but I'm usually working. So the way that I got introduced to My Little Pony was I was at my best friend's house and I was working on my computer and all of a sudden her daughter turns on My Little Pony. And so I remember sitting there and I look up and I'm like, wait, what is this? And the first thing I noticed was just like the artwork, right? The bright colors, incredible artwork. The animation was amazing. And I just asked her, like, what is this? And she said, this is My Little Pony. And I'm like, wait, what? This doesn't look like the My Little Pony that I remember. I remember My Little Pony looking way different, right? The ponies were a lot bigger. They all pretty much looked the same. And what we remember from, at least from when I was a kid. And I was just kind of intrigued, but I didn't really pay much attention to it. It was just like, okay, whatever. And that was about, I would say, almost 2 years ago. And I didn't see it again until like a couple of months later. And she was watching it again, and I was on my computer. And this time I was actually like looking up from my computer, and I remember, focusing and actually watching it and paying attention to it. And I remember she had even tried to like change to different episodes. You know how kids are, they love changing around. And I'm like, wait, I was watching that. So I caught myself and I'm like, oh my gosh, why do I care so much about this? And my best friend was even like, really? And I said, I don't know. But I didn't go out and start watching it after that. It just intrigued me. So fast forward about 2 weeks ago, my nieces were watching it. And again, usually when they come over, that's what they watch. And I just found myself again kind of paying attention and wanting to actually sit there and watch an episode. And I was in my office and they were in the living room. And I actually got up out of my chair and went to the door and peeked out and found myself watching it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to, my niece was on my tablet. She'd been watching an episode. So when they left, I basically picked up where she left off. And later on, I decided to actually start watching it from the beginning. And one episode led to another and another. And before you know it, I was hooked. So, I mean, I really loved initially, like I said, I loved the artwork and the animation. And I thought it was just so well put together. And then when I actually watched the episode, it was funny. They were actually talking about things that are, morals and, the music and, everything combined. It was basically like a Disney movie in a 22-minute episode. So to me, that's really what kind of caught my attention. I love Disney movies. And, that's really what basically hooked me to My Little Pony. So that is how I started watching it. Now, what I didn't expect from it is, because of how well put together the animation is, uh, I'm actually creating a kids brand, right? And so what watching My Little Pony and just seeing how everything works, piqued my interest, and I started doing a lot of research, and it's really inspired me to, move forward with what I'm doing, and basically focusing more on what I'm passionate about, which is creating, artwork that is based off of characters and cartoons and animations. I've had a business. I'm a graphic designer, and I've had my own printing business for almost 6 years, and I found myself doing a lot of corporate work and logos and marketing material and things that honestly, they were paying the bills, but it's not really what I'm passionate about. So watching the show artistically has just made me, kind of be intentional with what I'm trying to do with my kids brand. And I'm going to be, have little animations. I do have a character. The name of the brand is called I Made This. I'm going to put a link down in the description, but it's really just kind of made me intentional of what I'm trying to do and getting more into animation. So I'm excited about that. And before I get into Celestia and why I started with her, I want to talk about the creators of My Little Pony, because I think that's really important. And I think that it had it not been for the person that created it initially, it wouldn't be what it is. So, the series or My Little Pony goes back years, right? They've been around for over 30 years. Hasbro has owned them, and before this is called Generation 4. The one that we're watching right now is Generation 4. And then before there was Generation 1, 2, and so on. And so the creator of this Generation 4 My Little Pony is Lauren Faust. And Lauren Faust is an incredible animator. She's been part of cartoons like Powerpuff Girls, and other ones, but I'm going to talk more about Powerpuff Girls because that's what I grew up with. And I loved Powerpuff Girls. Boys, girls, adults, they all watched it. I remember, everyone wanted to be one of the Powerpuff Girls. And I think it was one of those cartoons that really focused on girls, but it wasn't girly. It was more about action and, adventure and personality, and each one of them had their own personality. And I just remember vividly watching those cartoons. And when I found out that Lauren was also the creator of Powerpuff Girls, it made sense. And I'm like, oh, that's why I like My Little Pony so much. Okay, now I understand. And then basically some of the same people that were a part of like Powerpuff Girls and she'd worked with in the past are also part of My Little Pony. So I thought that was really, really interesting. And it really made sense as to why I was so passionate about it. And you can tell too that the people that are part of My Little Pony are super passionate about the cartoon just because of how well put together it is. I mean, if you actually sit down and watch one, you'll see what it is, like what I'm talking about. It's literally, like I said, a Disney movie, but put in one, in a 22-minute episode. And the artwork is amazing. The animation is incredible. The story, the morals that you can learn. It's one of the better shows out there for kids, but it can also be enjoyed by adults. And speaking of adults, it's crazy because My Little Pony has it's a phenomenon basically. So the first episode was launched in 2010, and from there a whole new fandom arose, and they were called bronies, right? And bronies, they're basically adults, and most of them being men that love My Little Pony. And I'm not going to talk too much about that in this particular video, but I think it's an amazing, interesting story. But I found out about them because I was on Instagram, and I remember typing My Little Pony, and then I saw the brony hashtag, and there's over 1 million posts in that hashtag alone. So that is pretty interesting. Because I felt like, wait, why do I care so much about this show? Like, I'm a grown woman. Why do I care so much? So when I started doing research, I'm like, wow, there's millions of other adults that also enjoy it too. So it's definitely the show itself. I give most of the credit to, Lauren Faust, because she's the creator of it. And basically, the way that she created it was when she was younger, she grew up with My Little Pony, and she basically says that she wanted to see, or when she was little, she created this entire story in her mind. And when she played with her dolls, that's basically the story that she created, but it wasn't on TV, right? She grew up with like generation 2 or 1, or I can't remember. And so it was kind of easy for her when she went to Hasbro. She was pitching a completely different series cartoon that she had in mind. I think it was called Milky Way and the Galaxy Girls. But instead, they asked her if she could reboot My Little Pony, and she agreed. And then basically the rest is history. Now, Lauren is no longer with My Little Pony. She actually left after season 2. However, most of the same animators and artists, voiceover actors, they're still there with the show. So, basically she laid down the foundation, and they kind of, ran with that. So I definitely wanted to give credit to Lauren Faust for doing an amazing job, and everyone that is a part of My Little Pony. So I just wanted to give credit where credit is due. All right, but now I want to talk about why I decided to start with Celestia. And first and foremost, main reason is because she is my favorite character in the series. And there's many reasons for that, but one of the main ones is because the mystery behind her origins. Right. So Princess Celestia, along with her younger sister, Princess Luna, are co-rulers of Equestria. And Princess Luna was actually banished to the moon for 1,000 years because she turned into Nightmare Moon, which I'm going to be doing the next drawing I'm going to be doing is of her. So I'm excited about that. So stay tuned if you want to see that. But it's really interesting because she was banished for 1,000 years. But in the series, it seems like she's been around a lot longer. So her and Luna are ancient. They're probably the oldest ponies around. So I just feel like there's a lot of like missing history behind their origins and how they came about. It doesn't really talk about where they come from, if they had parents, who they are. So I just feel like there's just so much mystery behind that. And I would have thought that they were they're both alicorns. Well, Princess Celestia is an alicorn, so is Princess Luna and all the other princesses. Which an alicorn basically means that you have all of the traits of all the races of ponies, which is Earth Pony, Unicorn Pony, and Pegasus. And so Celestia is probably one of the most powerful ponies in Equestria. But it doesn't really go, like I said, there's not much history about it. So that kind of sense of mystery is what intrigues me the most. Knowing that too, in order for her to have become the princess, she must have, had all kinds of adventure and feats. And, I kind of really want to know the backstory behind her. And I think that there's just so much more to her character that we get to see in the series. I don't know if they're going to, put that in future seasons or maybe in the new generation that's coming. I'm not sure, but I would really love to see that. Um, so I think that's really interesting. And I would have thought that she was a natural born alicorn, which is what Lauren Faust had, I guess, stated that she wanted, or had she envisioned that, because in one of the interviews that she'd done, she said that she thought of Princess Luna and Princess Celestia as natural born alicorns. And that's why both of their manes are moving, right? So if you look at Princess Celestia, she has a beautiful, colorful mane, and then it's kind of glittery and it moves in the cartoon. So her mane is completely different. Her and Luna's mane are both completely different from all of the other ponies and even the other princesses. Um, and they age differently. So in my mind, I thought that they were like immortal. They were natural born alicorns. But if you watch the series, then in one of the episodes, Princess Cadence has her baby, which is Flurry Heart, and Princess Celestia says that, and both of them, Princess Celestia and Princess Luna, both say that it's the first time they've ever seen a natural born alicorn, and that they thought that everyone thought that in order to become an alicorn, you had to, earn it, right? And so that was kind of interesting because I thought that they were natural born. I could be wrong. I don't know. Please, by any means, if I'm wrong with any of these facts, let me know down in the comments. I am just going off of what I've researched. So for that reason, Princess Celestia is just mysterious. I would just love to know more about her origins. And so I think that she is extremely powerful as well. And in another episode, it kind of shows how powerful she really is when she is in a dream world, and she becomes Daybreaker, which is basically like the evil version of herself, similar to Luna, who is Nightmare Moon. And then Daybreaker pretty much tells her, like, how powerful you are, and Princess Celestia tells her, no, I would never become you. And she defeats her. So I think that's so cool to me. Like I love like a rich history where you can kind of think of where someone came from, you don't really know. And then, she uses her magic and her power for good. So I think that's awesome. And then her personality, she's just really like down to earth. Even though she is royalty, she basically just considers herself just like, any other pony. But just she has obviously the responsibility of an entire world, right? And then, she raises the sun. That's her cutie mark. She has the sun. And for a while, she was also raising the moon when she banished Luna for the 1,000 years. And then, of course, I just love the relationship that her and Twilight have, because when Twilight was a filly, she noticed how powerful she was, and she basically became the mentor for Twilight, and she took her under her wing, so to speak, and taught her everything she needed to know about magic, and enrolled her in her school. But then realized that Twilight really needed to experience friendship, and that's really what she was missing. Which I kind of read something interesting, because in the series, we find out about the elements of harmony. So it said that Princess Celestia knew that Twilight was destined to be the pony that unlocked the elements of harmony along with her friends. So she knew that in order for her to fulfill her destiny, she had to make those friends, and sent her to Ponyville so that she could experience that. And instead of, because Twilight is a very studious pony, she's always in her books and she didn't really care about making friends. And then, sent her, she knew that she had to send her to experience that herself, because if not, she wouldn't have fulfilled her destiny. So I just love the way that the story plays out. And that just goes into the entire series in itself, and what Lauren was able to create with that. And so I just love that whole, she's like a pony that everyone looks to for guidance. She has that motherly type of presence whenever you see her. in the episodes. And like I said, she's like just very patient with the ponies. And she really lets Twilight kind of figure things out on her own. And just kind of, in the first season, she asks her to send lessons of, the things that she learns and a friendship. And that's why it's called, friendship is magic, right? That's what the series is called. Um, and so I just love that. I love that whole story. I would love to see more and find out more about the origins. I think that would be really interesting. Maybe it's something that they do, maybe it's not. But a couple fun facts. So when I was researching, I found out that Princess Celestia was actually supposed to be queen. Initially, that's what Lauren had made her. If you look in her show, her Bible show, I mean, her show Bible of the series, she was actually supposed to be Queen Celestia. And then Hasbro said, no, little girls are more, they resonate more with princesses. So they changed her to princess. And then also the voiceover, I think this is really cool too. I should have mentioned this in the beginning, but the voiceover of Princess Celestia is Nicole Oliver. And she's been in all kinds of films, on screen, voiceover, and she does an incredible job with Princess Celestia. I think that the tone, her voice really goes with the artwork, with the character. And actually, before they picked Nicole Oliver, the voice of Princess Celestia was supposed to be the voice of Trixie. So if you guys know who Trixie, the great and powerful Trixie, she was supposed to be Princess Celestia's voice. So that would have been kind of interesting. That would have been way different. And then supposedly Twilight was supposed to be Celestia's successor. And that was another vision for Twilight that Lauren Faust had. But I don't know if that's still going to happen. I guess we just have to watch. I haven't seen all the seasons. I have not seen the movie yet, so I'm excited about that. But that's mainly the reasons why she's my favorite character. I just think that there's more to her. I wish they would kind of talk, like I said, more about the past, more about her origins, and we'll see what happens. And so, yeah, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this time lapse. I hope you enjoyed the drawing. I definitely probably didn't get all the facts right, so please don't hesitate to call me out on it. Leave me in the comments. Let me know if I messed up some of the facts. I'm just now starting to watch this show, so I don't mind being corrected. So anyway, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you liked it. Comment down below. I'm going to be creating more drawings of the ponies. This is going to be an entire series. I'm really excited. I can't, I'm going to be watching the movie soon, so I'm excited for that too. And, just again, let me know if you have any suggestions for future drawings. You can follow me on my social media, DM me, let me know what's up. But anyway, guys, that is it. And I will see you guys on the next one. Be bold, be passionate, be you. Take care.